Hi, let us have a quick understanding on Apache Flume. Flume is a highly reliable distributed log collection agent where it's going to run as an agent and it's going to collect logs from multiple sources or from multiple machines. And later Flume was developed to be used or to collect data from n number of sources. Let us have a quick understanding on the architecture of Flume. Flume has three major components: source, channel, and sink. All these three components are put together and logically they are called as an agent. Source will have the configuration detail on from where it has to harvest the data. And sink, it will have the configuration details on where it has to write the data. As such, within the big data ecosystem, the data has to come from some third party, and that might be a continuously generated data. And third party might be willing to provide the data based on the request, and I can have an application running as a part of the third party application, and based on the request it could be a REST API call, or it could be a database call, or it could be a web call, and based on the request it will be providing the data. And the configuration on what is the third party, how the call should be made, and where it has to connect to, all the connection properties will be set within the source. And sink will have the details on periodically it will write the data into the HDFS, how it should write, where it should write, at what interval it should write. So all those informations will be available as a part of sink. And whenever I am collecting data from two heterogeneous systems, that is, the third party might be providing the data in a different speed and HDFS might be providing data in different speed. And I need some sort of a buffer to connect these two data source or these two data collector when the data that I am going to get from the source is different from how the sink going to write the data into the HDFS. And that's where we do have the channel, and channel can be configured to store or act as a part of memory, that is RAM, or it can store the data within the hard disk. So it will keep shrinking and it will keep expanding based on the variation of the speed between the source and the sink. Let us have a quick understanding on how Flume plays within the Cloudera ecosystem. So within Cloudera, I have configured the Flume. If you look at, this is how Flume service looks like. So I can get into the Flume and where I will be having the agent configured in a specific instance. So I do have this particular agent. Now it is not running, and before running, what I can do, I can have the configuration. Configuration is very simple. It's going to be available as a text file. So if I get into the configuration file, I should be in a position to see the configuration file. It will say what is the name of the agent, and within the agent I will be having the configuration on source, channel, and sink. These are all just the name of the source, channel, and sink. So if I check the name of the source, I should be in a position to find what is the type of source and the other properties I should be providing. If you look into the documentation of the Flume, it's very clear on what are all the list of sources available, where and all it can connect to. The same way, I'll be having the configuration on what is the type of sink and where it should write the file or where it should sink it. The same way, I do have the details for the channel as well. If I look into the documentation of Flume, I do have a list of sources. The Flume sources, Avro, I can connect to Avro, Thrift, or JMS, or I can execute any command and that can provide the data. Like this, we have huge number of sources. If I want to connect to Kafka, these are all the mandatory details that I need to provide for the Kafka. What is the topic I want to connect? What is the regular expression based on which I should look into the messages within the topic? Like that, I will be providing the details. And Flume will continue to run. Once if I start it, it will continuously run and I will be providing the details on the batch size. In the sense, how frequently it should connect and how frequently it should get the details. So in short, Flume, it acts like an agent or as a client which runs continuously and keeps harvesting the data from various sources and brings it into the sink, that is HDFS. From there, I'll take it for further analysis or processing.